Hello all, happy Monday. Welcome to Unit 4. Thank you so much for your patience today as I have taken this morning and this afternoon to jump in to take a look at the beautiful learning units that you guys worked so hard on last week and wanted to have some time to be able to go through them to provide some universal feedback in this video as we kick off this week. So again, welcome to Unit 4. We only have one more to go. Time is going by so quickly. I'm sure you're feeling that as well. In today's video, we're going to look at a few things. I'm going to wrap up Unit 3 and talk about that for a moment, and then we'll look to Unit 4 and what's to come in our final week together. So just as a quick wrap up for Unit 3, overall, beautiful work produced, so many incredible discussions in our Nearly Now forum. Probably has to be the most lively forum discussions we've had to date. So thank you so much for the thoughtfulness that was very evident in the posts and the responses that were created. Let's turn our attention to our learning unit, since that's really the core of what we've been focused on. And so really just a few things I want to note as I've been going through them today. So I should have all of my feedback provided by tomorrow. I'll finish up probably tomorrow evening. In the meantime, feedback will start coming in from your classmates. So that's one of your items that you'll take on this week, is to jump in and provide feedback to your colleagues on the learning units that they submitted. And so the feedback that you'll find from me, that will be in your gradebook. The feedback that you'll receive from your colleagues will be on the blog post itself, down at the bottom in the comment section. So you just kind of need to navigate between those two, but that'll be easy enough for you to be able to get your feedback, again, both from me and your colleagues. Really just two things I want to note right now that I'm seeing so far. And one of those things we're actually going to dig into a little bit during the content for this coming week. But it's just a quick note about discussion boards and a really special opportunity that comes in the response post portion. So pretty familiar with the discussion board. There's usually two components. There's an initial prompt where the first post will be generated in response to, and then we usually require students to follow up with a few posts. And so quite often what we'll see is follow up or 2 response posts due by Friday. Just respond to your classmates' post. That definitely gets a conversation going and leaves so much more opportunity on the table. So those response posts, sometimes you'll hear them called thread throughs or reply posts. A lot of opportunity to really deepen the concepts that are being learned and to just deepen the overall conversation. So consider how you can deepen your own learning activities by crafting those response prompts thoughtfully. So instead of responded to classmates, maybe it's respond specifically on a certain criteria or a dimension of the post or the learning. Maybe respond with 2 counterpoints or 2 additional points to the ones that have already been initially brought up. But so just to consider how you can use that thread through, that follow-up post, not just as busy work, but really as a way to deepen the concepts and the learning at hand. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, again, I mentioned it a moment ago, but to take the time to go through and read others' units. So again, it's part of your work for Unit 4, but there's a big opportunity here in sharing your learning plans with one another. One, you're just going to get exposed to so many different ideas about how you could do it, things you can incorporate in your own course. This is a free-for-all. Borrowing, I won't say stealing necessarily, but please feel free to pull from what you're seeing. Let yourself get inspired by what your colleagues are posting and their approach that they're taking to their content and learning items. See how you can get inspired by your colleagues and what you can pull back into your own course. So this is a really wonderful week in that way, that we get to collaborate a bit more and really learn from one another. There is such a huge wealth of experience amongst this group of people, who may not have been teaching in the online space for very long, but who have been teaching for quite a long time and have incredible value and insights that they're bringing to this new look of how to present content. So enjoy taking the time and going through each other's units this coming week. So this is a perfect segue into Unit 4, which is the week that we've just started into. So this week's really about overall deepening what we've already put together, and really considering how to, as the unit's titled, go from good to great. So let yourself, again, get inspired by your colleagues, by the readings from this week. And your main deliverable for this week will be a fully fleshed out unit on paper, that is. So you really want to give yourself the time this week to develop those resources. Don't just tell us about them, but really develop as much as you can of them. Many videos have been created in this course, powerful lectures, as well as activities. So give yourself the time to really let yourself flesh those out. What we're going to be doing next week is building them out in Blackboard. So they'll go from paper into Blackboard. So the more work that you've done this week to really vision them, define them, flesh them out, it's going to make it so much easier for you next week to then just go doing the build part. So it's very similar to creating an outline for a paper. You can definitely jump in and start writing the paper. And it's a lot more difficult. Takes more time, and the end product is often not nearly as thoughtful as when the time is taken to really do the work to build it from the ground up. So reward your future self by taking the time this week to really flesh those items out as much as possible. Okay, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week. Please let me know if you have any questions. Please keep the beautiful conversations going. Some that are just happening on the Q&A forum are quite excellent, as well as the ones that are happening in the ideas and strategy forum. So feel free to jump into those and, again, let yourself get inspired where you can. All right, have a beautiful afternoon, and I'll see you in Blackboard. Take care.